Cigarette butts are the most littered item in Vancouver. Many efforts over the years to curb the trash have been rolled out, but they've done little to help. The city now hopes peer pressure can help stop smokers flicking their butts into the streets.
The city can do so much in terms of education, and so we and the education and the outreach can reach so many people. I think it's more about if you have a friend or family that smokes, it's more about talking to them about it, encouraging them to use a pocket ashtray, do not litter, changing that type of behavior.
CBC News spoke with smokers in the city about how to properly discard their smokes.
What goes through your mind when you hear cigarette butts #1 littered item in Vancouver?
I believe it, and I think it's disgusting.
What do?
I put my cigarette out under my shoe, and then I put it in my purse or my pocket, and I get rid of it later. And when I'm really prepared, I carry a little plastic bag in my bag to put it into.
What about those pocket ashtrays you get for free at a community center?
I haven't seen them in ages. I used to have one. My biggest concern is that the birds will pick up the cigarette butts, and I don't want to contribute to that.
Yeah. Why do you think it's socially acceptable still to flick a cigarette butt on the if there's any other item of garbage, we'd be outraged.
I don't understand that at all, but people do it all the time.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Should the city do more to help with this issue? More receptacles, more advocacy, something?
Certainly more receptacles, yes, because you don't see them. I mean, if there's a garbage can nearby, I'll put it out on that, put it in there, but you don't see the standing ashtrays everywhere. People do still smoke, unfortunately.
Well, I have just a little foil package that I bought at a tobacco store. And you can just put a cigarette butt out here, and it's fireproof, so it won't catch on fire on you. So I go home and I just empty it.
I usually put it back into my my pack, whatever pack of cigarettes or joints or whatever it is, and make sure that whenever I'm done with whatever pack was in there, I throw it in the garbage.
Why do you think it's still socially acceptable to flick a cigarette butt?
I just think the size of it, the fact this is such a small piece of garbage, makes people think that it's okay to just toss it everywhere. But if you multiply that by the billions, you get a lot of garbage.
Final question is there anything more you think a city like Vancouver could do to make it easier to get your cigarette butt waste in the right place?
Yeah, I mean, that's a hard one because you got to install like a bazillion amount of garbage bins for that specific purpose. But I guess that will be the main solution, to try to make sure that as much as we have, 3 or 4 different type of garbage bins, we also have one next to a fifth one for cigarette butts. That will be the best, because as long as you have a lot of places to drop it, there's a slight chance that people won't just discard it everywhere.
If you ever saw someone like throwing away a cigarette butt right next to you, let's say, would you be the type of person who would be like, hey, that's littering, man?
Yeah.
Would you do that, or do you think that's awkward?
Yeah, I mean, in general, we're living in a time where it's really difficult to speak to people about any subject without, being a Karen or whatever, slang we call it for people that complain for other stuff. Because, where everybody's so emotional and we're not so connected with each other. So I think that not only that issue, but tons of issues, it's hard to talk to other persons without, everything getting really agitated. So for the most part, no, I don't say anything to people when they're littering, yeah.
Worth keeping in mind, technically anyone found throwing litter, including cigarette butts, onto streets can be fined up to $10,000.